I'm Molly.
I'm the head designer and main builder of Understreet Models and Supplies.
I am a builder and parts finder for Understreet Model and Supplies.
Together we're going to show you how to build minute gaming and terrain
And playsets and displays for figures going up to 7 inches.
Not to say at some point we won't make something for Barbie or Monster High. This is our first video and we will not be building anything, but we'll be showing you what tools we use. So if you want to give it a try, you might want to get some.
Or see what you already have.
So let's get started with the basic tools. The first thing you're going to need is a cutting board. Just about any size. This is actually a small one, and it's definitely something you want because you're going to want to cut on it. Pause.
The second thing you will need is a ruler. Go with a metal ruler, not a wood or a plastic ruler, as it can be cut. And with a ruler you can use it to measure as you are cutting and to cut on a straight edge.
Okay, the third thing, and probably the most important thing you're going to have is craft knives and a mini saw. The mini saw is easiest way to cut foam and wood and, well, just about anything you're going to need. The craft knives are what you need to be able to do detailed work, cut pieces off, slowly smoothing. You'll see that in our second video.
The fourth item you will need is paint brushes and a paint palette. Paint palette, obviously, to put your paints or whatever liquids and mix your paints in them. And paintbrushes, it's probably the second most important tool, but probably the most obvious of uses.
Fifth thing you will most definitely need is markers of some type. This will allow you to mark off areas that you want to cut off, or mark areas that you just need to make sure that you know to paint a particular way over later. You want 3 different sizes because it's much easier to work with a small when you're working with something small, and it's much easier to work with a large marker when you're taking off huge pieces that you don't know exactly what size you need to take.
Sixth, what you will need is scissors. You use these for the finer things you cut. I personally use them for cutting paper, feather, and hair grass, which we will explain later, string, cardboard.
Seventh, we have files. Now, most people wouldn't think you'd use this in building anything involving foam, but if you want to do super fine detail, files is majorly important. There are several different sizes, and I actually use all of these. Some of them you can still see pink foam in the blades. Doesn't matter where you get them, doesn't matter if they're metal or wood files, because both of them cut equally well into foam and wood, but don't use them for metal, and they're not metal files.
Eighth on our list are a multi-tool. And multi-tool has many uses. The main use is the pliers and the wire cutters, which we use when we do anything with wire, really. And it's very handy when you don't have your tools on you, but you have this.
Sandpaper, which is number 9 on our list, is probably the thing that you would think you need the least, but you end up using the most. It allows you to smooth out sections that are too rough and rough up sections that are too smooth. There are so many different levels of it. I actually prefer the finer, but you may prefer a rougher tip. Me, I use this for just about everything.
Another optional tool that will make your life a lot easier is a razor knife, which is number 10 on our list. We use it to cut foam and other heavy-duty objects, and with clips. You can put it in your pocket. Eventually it becomes a habit, and or you end up being somewhere where you don't have your craft knives, but you have this. So you pull this out and you use it instead.
Our 11th and final basics tools is the optional drill. Originally, I didn't have these when I started making terrain for games that I was playing, but since then, after I got my first one, I can't do without them. They are good for drilling holes in wood, foam, even metal if you have diamond tips. This is, I would say, go to find a hobby store and buy yourself even the cheapest one you can find, because they are so useful. And that is the basic tools we use all the time.
Now on to the advanced tools. First on our list of advanced tools is the glue gun. I use this to put together our play sets and displays. On our larger items, the rubber cement in the glue stick works better than white glue.
Our second one on the list is the, well, different measuring tools. We have the measuring tape, which you will use a lot when you're doing larger projects. The design kit for mapping and whatnot. This you will use when you're doing designs and you really need to have something to follow. And this represents many different types of measurement. You need some form of square. T-square would be best, but I don't have one, so this is what you get to see.
Third on our list is tape. This one is self-explanatory. It's not something you exactly need, but very thankful when you have it.
Fourth item on the list is chalk. Much like tape, it's something you really don't need to have, but when you are marking off places that you want to cut for particularly large play sets and displays, it comes in very handy, and you don't have to worry about it staying on there like you would with a pen or marker.
Fifth on our list is the airbrush. We use this for painting our larger models, play sets, and displays. Or if you get really good, you can use it for just painting.
Next we have picks and carving tools. These are mostly used for when you're doing larger work and need to do intricate carving. However, you don't really need them because you can do most of that with the craft knife kits. However, I do like to use these because you get an even smaller and closer design.
Seventh on our list is the hands-free magnifying glass. You use this when you're working on small things that you need to see up close.
Next we have our rotary tool, which is 8th on our list. These come in very handy when you're working on very large projects, such as our cantina, which you will see in a later video. The tool itself is, as you can see, just a standard rotary cutter. You have multiple different heads. My suggestion is you get more than we currently have, and also you might want to get a bunch of the sanding discs.
Ninth on the list is the heat gun. You use this when you're working with plastic and you want to bend it or straighten it or manipulate it into some shape. The heat gun is the best bet, but if you do not have the money for it, you can easily use a candle to achieve the same effect as long as you don't get it too close to the flame.
And last on our list, we have hot knives, which you will need to cut foam and, well, basically plastics and other things like that you may be using in your project. This is a very advanced one. I would suggest you go to the flower section in your local hobby store and get one of the straight wires, because they work just as well and they're far cheaper.
Okay, that's the video for this time.
Next time we will be building our first terrain piece, rocks. Sounds dumb, but it will teach you the basics on how to make different terrains, playsets, and displays.
It will show you how to put together models as well as paint them in a way that makes them look real, and also how to make it look like it is part of a field.
If you like this video, like and share, and if you want to see more videos and would like to see our production value go up, check out our GoFundMe and Kickstarter links below. Thank you.